Man in a frying pan, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. And I happened to be at the store and pick up a piece of veal tenderloin. It was on for a really good price, so I thought I'd do veal tenderloin two ways. So the first way I'm going to do it is I have a piece of veal tenderloin cut there and a little extra piece here. I'm just going to flip it over and put some pepper on it and some salt. So I've got it nice salted and peppered. And then the next thing to do is to start preparing the frying pan. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some butter in the frying pan, let it cook for a little bit, then put the beef in, cook it in the butter. And then when it's ready to come out, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to put the shallots in there. And when the shallots are done, I'm going to add a secret ingredient that we all know what it is, and that will make a sauce for the beef tenderloin. And what we're having really is a French method of cooking steak in a frying pan. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll continue on here. But I got a little frying pan here, and I put in the butter. And we're going to swirl it around, let it melt. Finished melting, and I'm just going to add a bit of olive oil to it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's getting nice and warm. It's just a medium-high heat. And in goes the beef tenderloin. It's going to be a few minutes to cook this. On it, and I just flip this one. You see it's got a little bit of a crust on it. And we'll flip that one. It's got a little bit of a crust on it. So we'll just let that cook some more. Take that off and take a look here. And that's pretty good. I'm going to take that off. So the next stage of this, I'm just going to take a little bit of the fat out of there. I felt it was just a little too much fat, and I'm going to add the shallots to it. So we're going to cook the shallots for a little bit. And the shallot is a very mild onion, and it's a perfect onion for this dish. Now you could use regular onions if you had, that's all you had, but shallots really designed for this dish. So let's cook that for a bit. Piece out of there. Well, that's good. And there's another piece that I don't like. A couple of pieces there. A bit more. We'll let that cook. It's getting there really quick. It's hot. And you see all the nice flavoring from the beef coming up. So. Let it cook. I'm going to give it a minute. Okay, the shallots look nice and cooked. They're wilted a little bit and picked up the flavor of the steak. So here comes the secret ingredient. Being a French dish, red wine. And this is going to be the sauce. So we're letting that cook down a bit. I'm going to turn the heat down. And that's cooking down pretty quick. So off we go. In goes back the steak. It's going to nestle in there and finish cooking a little bit. There's a bit of juice on the plate, so I'm going to add that back in. waste not, want not. I'm gonna let that cook for a minute. Turn it over, start cooking it on the other side. You can see it's nice and tender. This is a little more well done, so I'm going to pull that out. But this is still nice and tender, and it's not, I'd say it's almost medium rare. So I'm going to pull that off in a minute, and then I'm going to I'm going to pull that off, and I'm going to put some butter in here and stir this up, and that will bring the sauce up to a nice silky sauce. And then there we go. It's nice and melting. So I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm just going to spoon that sauce right over the steak. And there you have it. I have a beef tenderloin with red wine and shallot sauce over top, and that's tonight's dinner along with a nice salad. And then tomorrow night I'll do this another way. Nice and smooth, and the reason why is because I put the sauce through a sieve, and by doing that you get rid of all the chunks of the onion and etc. And don't want to eat a ton myself. I sometimes buy the ready-made packages of salad. This is California salad, and it has avocado, cheese, it has tomatoes, cucumbers, and it has cranberries along with pumpkin seeds. So it's a really nice little salad, and I couldn't buy all these ingredients for the price of the package I'm paying here. So off I go with this, and it's going to be my dinner, and it looks nice. So I'm hoping the whole thing tastes good, and it will, of course. And anyway, that's how I did the side. Back to an old man in the frying pan. As I told you before, we're going to do the beef tenderloin two ways. So this is the second way I want to do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm making a seafood sauce of lobster, and we'll make a lobster sauce to go over top of the beef tenderloin, and it's servitor. Butter into the saucepan, and we're just going to let that finish melting for a few minutes. I added a little bit of olive oil to it, lobster meat to it, and I'm going to let it cook for a few minutes. Not too long, because I don't want it to have to turn rubbery, as the lobster's already cooked. So I'm just going to scrape this around to that as it gets hotter. So I want that flavor to get into the pan, eh? Okay, that looks pretty good, so I'm just gonna take that out. Keep some of the flavor in there. So now I'm gonna add cream to that. And this isn't a thick cream, I don't want a thick cream. I'm gonna let that start to cook. And that's about, I wouldn't say more than a half cup, maybe. And there's only one small lobster I have here, and oops, I made a mess. Of course I did. So I'll clean that up. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of sherry. And I'm going to add an egg yolk for a thickener. And I need a bit more than this. Of course I do. And you see it's starting to thicken up already. Oh, perfect. I gotta taste this. It's a little sweet from the sherry. May have put just a tad too much in, but put a bit of salt in there because it needs it. I'm gonna add a little bit of cream to that. Just thin it out a tad. There we go. I don't want that boiling. So I'll turn it down. Gonna add a bit of tarragon for flavor. Let's see what that does. Cook that in there for a minute. I've turned the heat off. I'm just letting that sit in there. So that's gonna sit in there for a few minutes and I'll take it out when it's done its job. I gotta taste it again just to see what that did. Okay, putting that back in. Okay. So, that's ready. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. So I've cleaned up my frying pan and I'm putting it back on heat. And I'm gonna add a little bit more butter to that and let that melt. The tenderloin, and I've salted and peppered both sides, so I just put it in there to start frying and we'll let it go for a bit. It's been cooking for about 4 minutes and it's got some nice color on it, so I'm going to turn it over. And let's wait again. It's about ready to come out. Still quite tender. So I think what I'll do, let's put it on here quickly. And I'm going to take this and just drain that off. Because I don't want all that in my sauce. So I think I will wipe that out. So I'll take it. Out. There we go. So in it goes. And this goes in because that's the sauce. I'll turn the heat off. I'm just letting it warm back up. It's starting to thicken very quickly. That goes on the plate. Okay, I'm going to move this over here. I moved it onto the plate and I'm putting the sauce right over top. Lobster with a nice sauce on it. And I'm going to enjoy. It could have been a little smoother, I think, but I think the extra heat kind of knocked it on. Let's have a taste. Very good. Now this steak's rare, but it's good. Mmm.